Hello, everyone. I had promised you that I would do chart readings. I was looking at my YouTube channel the other day and I saw that the videos that have so many views were the one where I was doing chart readings for a special type or a special profile. And I love to do that. So I thought I was going to do it a little bit upgraded. This is a few years later. So I have also more ways of weaving and of discerning and of also sometimes bringing in astrology. So I thought I would do this a few times with different profiles, with different aura types, and a little bit create a library where you can go in. At least you could see, what's the profile, what's the aura type, what's the incarnation cross, so that there is at least something that where you can understand more about your chart. Instead of having to do a personalized reading, you can start to kind of put one and one together. So I just pulled randomly a chart of the charts that were posted today. I would probably continue to just post on my wall. Whenever I have a bit of time to do a reading, I'll just post and then I just choose and pick something that's posted. And then I'll move on and do a new post. So you don't have to like look for the first post. But I feel like that's a fun way to do it. Kind of first come, first served. So the chart that I chose today, it's Emma. And I said, post your human design chart and if you want to, your gene key chart, because the human design chart is it's more complete. It has all the 13 activations on the design side and all the 13 activations on the personality side. And the gene keys only have 11 of those activations. So I really like to look at the gene keys a lot. And if I don't have all the activations, I do feel like there is still something that's missing. For example, I love to weave the vocation together with Pluto, together with Chiron. And even that, I can't do it with the human design because the human design doesn't have Chiron. So that's where the astrology comes in as well, and where the nodes in astrology and Chiron, and there are things that we really want to see and understand, and to also look at the gates from an astrological perspective can be very, very, very important. So here, when we look at the personality, sun and earth, we have the 27, which is Taurus energy, and the 28, which is Scorpio energy. So here we know that there is a tension between having a life that is comfortable and nurturing and stable, and where you have like a foundation for your growth, both personal and professional, but more than anything, in form, in the material. There's also the beauty of the senses with Taurus, and then the tension is with Scorpio, that is all about the depth, and it's all about death and rebirth, and that loves intensity. And stability and death is very far away from each other. So we know that that's going to be a tension here. So that's one way of using astrology to see what the qualities are. But let us go into the more traditional human design. So here we see that we have a manifesting generator. So how do we see that? We see that the sacral center is connected to the throat center. So manifesting generator has this enveloping aura that people are going to feel, a kind of warm buzzing aura. And when you are in your signature, which is satisfaction, people that are close to you are going to feel that enveloping aura, are going to feel good in your presence. And if you are in your not self, if you are not using your sacral energy right, you're going to be a cloud of frustration. And everybody's going to feel that. And we have 70% of the population that are either manifesting generators or generators. So a lot of people walking around like frustration clouds. And that, of course, is creating a lot of dissonance in the world. What else is important to say for a manifesting generator? Well, when you have this direct connection to the throat, you can manifest in the world. Like there is something very direct from your life force up until you're expressing your throat, your manifestation. And this channel here, the 3420, is a pure manifesting channel. So there's a busyness in this channel. And in a low frequency, in the not self, it can be running around, just being busy, not available for anybody else. and just, maybe not having a really high purpose in that busyness. And when we look at your chart and we see the 28 down here, that is all about purpose. It's important for you to not just be busy for the sake of being busy, but to have a purpose with that busyness. There's also something when I look at the 1156 in your case that is here to have a lot of ideas and a lot of experiences. That is important for you to not be in distraction, but actually looking for what's enriching in your life. So that's important with the channel 1156. Um, and you are a sacral authority. So we just looked at aura type, which is um, one of four different auras: the generator aura, the projector aura, the reflector aura, and the manifestor aura. So you have a generator aura, that is the type, and that has to do with the strategy. In your case, the strategy is to respond to life, to respond in a way, to respond to life, to the things that feel in flow for you, that when you do them you feel regenerated. If you respond to things that aren't correct for you, you're going to feel drained. So you are using your life force in a way that isn't good for you, which is the worst thing you can do. The biggest asset for a generator is that energy, and you want to invest it in things that makes you feel satisfied at the end of the day. You want to use your energy in a way so that you are regenerating that engine. And in your case, because you have the spleen also defined, there is more instinct and intuition, a little bit more of that, like we think animals have instinct. That's also there. So when you respond to life, it's going to be more instinctive when you have the spleen activated than if you had only the sacral and not the spleen. And we see, so that's the step of what's your type, what's your strategy. Your strategy is to respond. When you respond to things so that you're using your energy right, then you're going to feel satisfied. You're going to feel, it's worth it in your world. And I don't know if I said success before, but that is the signature for the projector. The signature for the generator is satisfaction. But also, when you use your energy right in the world, it doesn't matter what aura type you are going to feel successful because it's opening doors to be you in the world. It's just the way it works. When you are truly you in the world, when you dare to be who you are, it's going to open doors. It's going to make you successful, whatever that means to you. But a success that's worth it for you because it's aligned with who you truly are. And the next part we would look at in a chart is the authority. So when we look at the authority, we go from right to left. So we look at the emotional center first, and if that's filled in, you're going to be an emotional authority. In your case, it's not filled in; it's open. So we go to the next center, which is the sacral center, and here we have the sacral center filled in. So we see that you're a sacral authority. A sacral authority has to do with what we just said. You're responding to life, and I would say when you have the sacral and the spleen, it's very much in the moment. It's really always in the moment. And it's almost like if I would put 5 plates of different kinds of food in front of you, snacks and food, you would know what to eat. I feel like it's a similar body language that your body knows. Your body always knows. You can always trust your body, what you are drawn towards. And also listen to your body to what a no feels like. And what we call sacral sessions can be super super important for a generator, a manifesting generator, where you get to say yes and no. Like if somebody asks you what do you want to do, it's like very wide, or what do you want to eat. But if somebody says, do you want to eat hot dogs, do you want to eat, and wait for your response, and do you want to eat nachos, do you want to eat vegetables, like, allow the body after each question to go yes and to go no, and learn how that feels inside of you. That is very very important for the sacral authority, for the generator and the manifesting generator that are sacral. And is there anything more to say about that? I would say it's about the now. Tomorrow the truth might be different. Tomorrow you might say yes to other things. So always check in with that gut feeling, with that body response. Very very important. And then let's go into the fact that you're a 2-4. So now we are looking at profile. And that's what we're going to see from the decimal in the personality sun and earth, and in the design sun and earth. So 2 4, that I look at them. I like to connect them to the body because I'm all about embodiment. So the second line for me is very much about the sacral. And the sacral, the second chakra, is also about water and flow. It's all about flow. It's all about also this kind of sacral way of living, the passion of following what feels in flow, what feels right, what feels natural. And the second line is about partnership. So it's often through the marriage, through the partnership with the other, that you get to experience life fully. And it's so important, however, to not outsource your satisfaction, your fulfillment on the other. We want you to take responsibility as a second line in your personality sun. We want you to take responsibility for um, your own fulfillment. And then when you are fulfilled, you're also going to attract dancers, because that's what we often speak about the second line as the dancer. That's what you're going to attract. In human design, we speak about it as the hermit. So that means that a lot of people are going to ask you to dance. A lot of people are going to ask you to play, and you get to be picky. If there's one line that gets to be picky, it's you. So you can sit, you can even like hide away inside your home, and people can knock at your door. And when you feel called that it's right, that's your dance partner, that's your playmate, go out and play and co-create. Don't wait for the other to fulfill you. Co-create. It's all about that partnership, that mirroring, that reciprocity with the other. And then you have a fourth line on your unconscious side, on your design side. And here we speak more about the heart chakra, or the breath that comes from the lungs. So it's important for you when it comes to your core stability, which is what we can see here when we speak about the form, the design. It's important, what environment you breathe, who is in your environment more than anything. The fourth line is all about trust and community and friendship. So who is in your life, who makes you breathe, who makes your heart warm. So more important than being in a certain environment at this layer of human design, it would be who is around you, and how are you able to feel trust with these people. How can friendship nurture your life? And how can friendship make you breathe and expand as who you are? That is super important. And a little bit of caution, there is going to be probably in your life some broken trust. It's going to throw you off. But the important thing here is to not just kind of blame the other and go into disappointment, but always use the other to see yourself. There's something with the second line that's a little bit unaware of itself. So how can you use those relationships, and even when it goes wrong, to learn to know yourself better, to use it as a mirror, and then still have faith that relationships are worth it. So let's see if there's anything in this chart. I'm going to continue also a bit from a human design perspective, even when I look at the gene keys, because that's how it works. With this one, I would just say wherever you have a channel is a theme. So here we had the 1156, we had the 3420 that we looked at, and we also have the 5720. So there is also intuition is extremely important for you. You have it in your chart, both in the conscious and unconscious, and it's Uranus. So if you don't listen to your intuition, it could be kind of explosive. It could be a lot of unexpected in your life. You're still gonna be that because you have this cross of the unexpected. But if you don't listen to your intuition, I would say even more kind of explosions can happen for you. And with that, I'm gonna move into the same. And you see here, it's the same numbers that you have in your human design. It's just that we don't have all the numbers. And in your particular case, you're here to awaken, but that's also what your ancestors have probably resisted. So what is it there? What is this story of guilt? What is this story a little bit of sacrifice, maybe for the family that's there, that's not allowing individuals to awaken, And what might there be in the way of functioning that is a little bit old, like a little bit like the old monarchy that has those set ways of functioning that has made it hard for you to truly express in your life. First line in your EQ, and first line in your IQ. That's to not be really able to voice your truth. It sits far in, and it's even when you want to say it, it might be a bit hard to bring it out. So looking at what's your way of gathering friends, family, what's your way of coming together, and how can that happen in its own space and timing that actually leads to initiatives that haven't been taken in your family before, initiatives that leads to evolution and awakening. And speaking about your cross, here we have that cross that anything can happen in your life, and it's going to happen naturally for a 2-4. And like I was saying in the beginning, there is a bit of this tension between the nurturing, between the Taurus, between that 27th gene key that wants to nurture, that wants to give, with both hands and make the other drink first from your cup. And then the 28 that doesn't feel like that's enough, but it wants a deeper purpose. It wants to go deep with one person, probably at the time, and really, explore everything, all the secrets. And it doesn't just want to stay in comfort and stability. It really wants to go there. It wants to be stung by the Scorpio so that it can feel how it feels and it can find a deeper purpose. So that's on one side. And then on the other side, we have the leadership theme that actually comes from your network, your friendships. Like your leadership is woven together with like is woven from whoever is in your phone, whoever is in your contact list, because it's all about, with whom do you breathe life, leadership. Here we have Leo energy and Aquarius energy. So there is something where who is around you, because with them you're gonna create not only your own core stability, but you're gonna embody a sense of leadership. And I would say it's a leadership for the future, because the 31 is very much leadership from the future. You need to be chosen. That's also why it's kind of happening in the network of people that and you are here to anticipate as well what's going to be needed, as we walk into the future. um, so that is what I would say about the cross. And there is a lot of mirroring as well in your relationships, even in your intimacy, in your sexuality, that mirroring of using the other to go deeper, but also to get to know yourself better. And important for you to not kind of go into any kind of monotony or yeah, not go into monotony when it comes to relationship, being versatile, even when it comes to intimacy. No, it's not here to be boring. There's a kind of mastery in how you learn to relate, and how you learn to relate also through intimacy. And I feel like that is always connected also to that vocation of awakening. And this, I would say the theme of projection is the last thing I would mention. When you have a lot of second lines and a lot of fifth lines, there's always this theme of projection. So that's also about courage, the courage to be you, even when there is projection that's being stirred up. And in seeing as a second line, what of that is true and what of that is not true. As a second line, we can also a bit learn from that projection. And when you do your inner work, give yourself time and space. When you go back to do your inner child work, give yourself time and space. When you're doing your emotional work and showing your nervous system that it's safe, it's important for you to find a way of getting the expressing that deep, those deep emotions that are in you. Otherwise you can continue to a little bit self-sabotage, like you might have done when you were an adolescent, when you didn't really feel maybe listened to or didn't know how to say certain things. So those are two advices as well for that Venus work, that inner work that we are doing through the gene keys. So what I went through today was a manifesting generator, 2-4, with a cross of the unexpected, and also with sacral authority, because the emotional center is open. So I hope that was helpful. Thank you, everybody.